Morning to you, and thanks so much for tuning into the
Weather showing up over the Florida Peninsula, but in between, from the Pacific to the Atlantic, nothing but cloud cover, and those clouds are producing rain or snow, and snow even into the Mid-South. Around Memphis, Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, flakes are flying. We have a rain here from Virginia down into the Carolinas and Georgia, and snow up to the northeast. Now, where you see some fair weather this morning, don't be fooled. That's where the coldest of the cold areas, the northern plains, upper Mississippi River Valley. And in Florida, even though it doesn't look like much here, it looks pretty good. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of fog out there this morning that should slow you down. It better slow you down. If not, you're going to be sitting there waiting for the tow truck on the side of the road. So be careful out there. But there's the next storm blowing on into the west. So let's take you all across the country. Here's the whole picture, the current weather map. Major players, stalled front, and the ripple of low pressure moving along. Arctic high pressure. We have the Arctic boundary right here. That's why we still have the cold air in the northwest. And here, again, is that front finally blowing onshore in the west. So we take it piece by piece to the northeast. This low is helping scoop in some moisture. There's low-level cold air. We're seeing widespread snow over the northeast from, well, Boston and Concord, most all of Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, all snow there through New York City. Extends back to Rochester, Syracuse, Niagara Falls, back over to the Cleveland metro area, south towards Youngstown. All snow here. Very light, but snow, and it's coming at rush hour, and that could be some problems. Now, as you get to Salisbury, Maryland, south towards Richmond and Norfolk and Newport News, you have some rain to contend with this morning. Here's the regional radar. Snow, all here is snow. A little bit of snow back here in the Ohio Valley as well. But once again, as you get to this Chesapeake Bay area south, we're talking about rain. And as you can see, everything's skirting off to the east at about 20 to 25 miles per hour. Farther south now, we get to some moderate to heavier rain around the Sandhills in North Carolina. From Raleigh-Durham over towards Kinston, some moderate rainfall being reported. Pushing on over to Rocky Mountain. You pick it back up around Columbia and Orangeburg, and then pushing to Charleston. Some pretty good downpours here and there are sliding off to the east, so watch out Myrtle Beach. Atlanta metro area looking okay right now. However, you get around Columbus and over to Macon and then over to Augusta, and that's where we're having some of the more significant showers now, and occasionally some thunder around Warner Robins Air Force Base there around Macon. So there's even some rumbles this morning. We see back towards Montgomery, Alabama, Eufaula, Alabama, some wet weather, scattered showers down around Mobile. These are all working their way to the east. We've got the front. The low's pulling out, and the front is edging slowly towards the southeast. So that will put the threat of rain from the Carolina coast through South Georgia into North Florida. But a lot of fog in Florida. Be careful out there. Visibility is around Tampa, St. Pete, Sarasota, Fort Myers, very restricted up to Tallahassee and Panama City. Get north of the front, you get into the colder air. Flakes flying at Fayetteville, Arkansas, and as we mentioned, Memphis to Nashville, up into Kentucky and the Ohio Valley, while the Arctic highs are putting a few flurries out around South Bend and Muskegon. Nothing very heavy to report here, and you can see a little of the snow up near Marquette and around Muskegon and Benton Harbor, and there's the snow in the Ohio Valley. Again, not heavy, but enough in a few spots to cause some slippery roads. There we find the snow into Colorado and into Utah, moderate to heavy around Salt Lake City and around Blanding, some moderate snow towards Winnemucca. The high peaks of the Sierra catching the snow, because this has been pretty mild air that's been sweeping in, so snow levels are still pretty doggone high. And the rain's rather heavy around Oakland and Alameda towards the Monterey Peninsula, so the Crosby clam bake there definitely going to be wet at Pebble Beach as we head into the midweek. We see rain down to L.A. also. The freeways are soggy for you this morning. Here we can see San Francisco, Oakland, moderate to heavy rains towards San Jose, raining in Stockton and Sacramento, and even on up towards Donner Pass. The snow levels are pretty high, and all this moist east and southeast and southwest. And here with a look at the forecast and what's heading your way is Cheryl. Our regional radar. Mainly wet weather from the Tidewater down through eastern North Carolina and pushing on now towards Charleston. Some pretty good downpours here, working its way across Augusta and Macon, Georgia. So once again, I-16, I-24 will be a little bit wet in spots, but especially I-95, so be careful here. The other soggy spot over the west coast, some moderate to heavy rain, San Francisco and Oakland into Sacramento. So I-5 is going to be wet. The Interstate 15 freeways around L.A. are wet, and be careful there. Some strong thunderstorms, a possibility over the southeast. That ribbon of snow will diminish here, but be at times rather heavy across the Rockies, as will some big gusty winds.
It's as far as Michelin Science has ever gone. Our biggest